fill the primary 4 positions on this vehicle. Ready, move. We slightly edited the LAPD high risk stop to be functional for our department. These first 4 gentlemen here are going to be lethal coverage. You're the first 4 units on scene. You're going to be lethal coverage. 4 people with rifles, handguns, shotguns, whatever you want to do. Now, next 2 people are on scene. Give me Sergeant Garcia and Sergeant Barton. So go to the wings of both vehicles, meaning the passenger side of the primary vehicle and the driver's side of the secondary vehicle. Now, the unit initiating the high-risk stop is going to be the primary vehicle, obviously. The Crown Vic here is going to be deemed the secondary vehicle. You'll notice that we parked it wide and angled facing in towards the vehicle so we could have a good line of sight on the vehicle. You'll also notice that we have the vehicles parked in line so that the deputies that are parked at the door jamb are going to be on line with each other for a firing line so that we're not shooting in depth. Shooting in depth is when a deputy is downrange from another deputy in the line of fire if a shooting were to occur. So now we have our less lethal options secured, and they're ready to initiate whatever we need to do. Prior to everybody getting here, because this is 6 deputies, this would probably take a while for 6 deputies to get here, the primary deputy, which would be Wheeler, Sergeant Wheeler in this case, would have given announcements to the driver. In a perfect world, he would have told him to turn the car off and take the keys out of ignition and throw them out the window and keep his hands out the window. So by the time everybody else is arriving, Sergeant Wheeler would have already advised the suspect to keep his hands out the window and discard the keys out of the vehicle. Give me Senior Deputy Anderson, and let me get D. Anderson. Just get double Anderson. So you 2 are going to form the contact team on the secondary vehicle. Now, in general, we want to call the suspects out of the driver's side of the vehicle. It is important that we call all suspects out of the driver's side of the vehicle. If there's something preventing us from doing that, we can do it the opposite way. But in general, the training shall state that we will pull them out of the driver's side of the vehicle. If there is a passenger in the front seat of the vehicle, after we escort the driver out, we shall call the passenger to the driver's seat of the vehicle, and we shall escort them out the same door that everybody else is on. For your contact team, you guys are going to have a taser and a hands person. So we have somebody with a taser here for close quarters, less lethal, and we have someone who's ready to go hands if needed. You guys are going to position behind Sergeant Barton here on the driver's side of the Crown Vic. Now, at this point, D. Anderson would communicate, hey, primary, we have a contact team set. We're ready for you to call the suspect out. So he'd say, Wheeler, we're ready. Go ahead and begin commands for the suspect to get him to exit. Cool. Wheeler gives commands for the suspect to exit. I'm not going to walk through all the commands. Alexander, get out. Alexander, get on your face. Turn around and face the units. You're going to crawl towards the driver's side of the Crown Vic suspect. He's going to crawl all the way. He's going to go all the way until he gets past the driver door. So stop right there, Alexander. So the only thing that's different here is Mendoza. What you're going to be doing with this side of the lethal side, you're going to be the only lethal coverage on this side of the vehicle. So you need to be watching the suspect we're calling back. Let the other 3 cover the vehicle while we're proning him back here. So we need to pull him back to as much cover as we can. So probably about right where I'm standing, we need to call him back to. Mendoza is going to be responsible for lethal coverage on the suspect. Barton has a less lethal shotgun. Anderson has the taser, and then Jay Anderson is responsible for hands. So he's going to prone all the way back there. Suspect stop. Now the hands team is going to approach. We're going to take him into custody. We're going to move him back to a vehicle and secure him. Cool. Now get him out of here. Everybody else is going to hold. Now he's out of play. We can leave him. Now we're going to wash, rinse, and repeat the exact same thing over and over and over again until we get every suspect out of the vehicle until we're done. So suspect switch, hop over to the driver's seat, get over the center console and hop to the driver's seat, exit the vehicle. Prone out, crawl to the sound of the deputies. Give them clear and specific instructions on what you need them to do. When we are done calling the suspects out, we still need to clear the vehicle. Now, when we clear the vehicle, we're going to do it pretty much the exact same way we did it before. We can utilize a shield, or we can utilize 2 people with a rifle or a handgun. We're going to push wide from my position here, where Mendoza's at. We're going to push as wide as possible. We're going to push as wide as possible. I'm going to get parallel with the driver's side door, and then we're going to push into the vehicle. Nice and slow.